If you've been diagnosed with cancer, you will experience the 5 phases of acceptance. Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 phases of acceptance, or the 5 stages of grief. If you have cancer, you're definitely going to experience any or all of these. And if you know somebody who has cancer or some other type of illness, or if you've had a death in the family, it's probably important for you, I think, to recognize these. They are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then finally acceptance. So the first one, denial, a lot of people experience when they are first diagnosed. I would say that I did a little bit, because I always thought that I had a pretty healthy lifestyle. I felt like I was active and I ate pretty well. I didn't stay out late and party a lot. I was always waking up to go to the gym, and I was kind of surprised when I was diagnosed with cancer. I just always thought that it's, somebody else that's a little bit unhealthier, but I guess that's why they call it the silent killer, because it doesn't really have a face, right? The next one is anger. I didn't experience this one. I didn't really have anybody to be angry at, but that is a very common phase that people go through. They kind of act out a little bit. They're short with their family members, and I think that that's important to recognize, but really I didn't experience that one too much. Bargaining, a lot of people, I would say probably more religious people, tend to do the bargaining, maybe please God, if I do this better, can I get a few more years out of life? Maybe I was like that a little bit, I would say. I didn't really pray to God or anything, but maybe a higher power. I do remember kind of saying, hey, let me live a few more years and I'll try to be a better person. The next one I think is probably the most common for people, and that's depression. I would say that's the one that I experience the most, and I think most people probably do. It's just really easy to become depressed when you find out that you have, a terminal illness or something that changes your life completely, especially overnight. A lot of people go in and out of some of these phases as well, and that's probably the one that you go back to, is the depression. The depression stage. You don't stay there for a long time. Some people can. I didn't. I kind of got through it fast, and I really don't know when, but I just remember one day waking up and basically just accepting the fact that I had cancer. I don't know what time frame it was, but I just remember that, instead of being sad and depressed thinking, oh, I'm gonna die or this or that I just accepted it, and that's the final stage, acceptance. And it's amazing once you get to it. It's like a weight's been lifted off your shoulders, and you just kind of start to live life again. You start to enjoy life again instead of being depressed or angry. You just finally accept it and you're able to move on. But it is common to go back to any or all of these stages. Now, if I go back to any of them, it's kind of, I guess, the depression a little bit. Maybe not even depression, but just being sad a little bit. Like a couple weeks ago, I had to do a PET scan, and I have to go to the hospital tomorrow to get the results. So usually in that 2-week period and leading up to these PET scans, I don't know, I guess I get a little bit depressed just thinking about a negative result, thinking about my cancer coming back, maybe spreading to my brain or to another vital organ. But then usually, once I get the news that I'm all clear, I kind of relax again. I go back to the acceptance stage again for another 6 months until I get my next PET scan. So these stages of grief, these stages of acceptance, they don't just apply to people with cancer. It's, rape victims, PTSD for soldiers, a death in the family. There's many different things that can cause someone to go through these phases of acceptance, but I think that it's important that you recognize it if you're going through it, or if someone that you care about is going through it, because then you'll be able to identify, and hopefully you'll be able to understand that person or yourself a little bit more. If you've ever taken a psychology class, this is taught in psychology, so you can Google it, look it up, and read all about it, and hopefully it'll help you. So remember, cancer kills. Fight back. Always fight back.